Doing great. How are you?
Not too bad.
Hey, David.
It's raining out there.
Red light's on. Okay. Well, welcome everybody to the Town of Williston's Development Review Board for Tuesday, June 27th. We're going to bring the meeting to order at 7:02. One item on the agenda for tonight. It's DP 17-26, Allenbrook Development. Who is here in front of us? Come on up, gentlemen. Come on up, everybody. And ladies. Great. For the record, if everybody would state their names and their addresses, please.
Brian Birch, 31 Commerce Ave, South Burlington.
Scott Sorrell, soon to be 300 Cornerstone Drive, Suite 240, Williston.
Al Senecal, 31 Commerce Ave, South Burlington.
Joseph Harron, Chef's Corner, soon to be 300 Cornerstone Drive, Williston.
Great, thank you. Okay. Mr. Bellabo.
Sure. Thank you. So this is a request for discretionary permit to add a 12 by 30-foot outdoor seating area and patio to an existing mixed-use commercial property located at 300 Cornerstone Drive. The property is currently developed. It's the Taft Farms Shopping Center. Contains a mix of uses, retail on the ground floor, some office uses on the second floor, as well as, I believe there's some office at a below grade, partially below grade portion of the building. And so this is a request. The applicants want to build this patio on the, I guess it's the southeast side of the building, and it would sort of be overlooking the parking area. And as part of this, they're gonna rework some of the parking spaces that are immediately adjacent to the building. So, it's really below the, or I should say, it's above the threshold by which we would approve something administratively. So I said, it's gotta go to the board. There's a couple aspects, I think, that are important for us to review as part of this. First of all, does this create, does it create a greater intensification of use, and does it create an additional demand for parking? So we have not recommended that there be additional parking as provided with that. And my position on this is simply, the time of year to sit outside in this part of the country is pretty brief, and
And you moved here voluntarily.
yeah, I did, yes. So who is it that would sit outside in the patio? Probably most of the people that would do that would be people that would have gone to the location in the first place, but would take advantage of the nice weather to sit outside instead of sitting inside. Would there be some additional patronage that would result as, because of the nice patio seating overlooking the Allen Brook? I'm sure there will be some of that. But it seems to me that it would be, any increase in demand for parking would be pretty negligible. It's in a mixed-use shopping area. There no doubt will be a lot of their customers will be people who are already working there in the shopping center and or people who are there already, as well as folks that would journey to there as well. So we have not recommended any additional parking. The major design issue on the site has to do with the circulation of vehicles around this side of the building. And the fire chief had some, particular concerns. The turning radius is it's not plentiful in there. And as the board may recall from other matters, the fire chief likes to be able to get access to all sides of the building, if at all possible. So there's been some discussion, some back and forth between the applicants and the fire chief. So you have two site plans in front of you. One's date stamped May 22nd, which was the original submittal. Second site plan, which we got late last week, June the 21st. And what's really different about it is there's some additional signage that's going to help to direct people to move through this portion of the site in a one-way fashion. It's already in one way. This would just help to make it clear. And then the other thing is going to be to make sure that people don't park in places that they're not supposed to park. The fire chief is satisfied. As far as the planning office is concerned, I think that these are some good mitigation measures to ensure that the site operates properly. There was a memo that we got just today from Public Works talking about wanting this to be via Taylor Lane, one-way proposed, to be able to go around the back. I'm not really sure exactly what that's all about. So it's a pretty, you know, small change to the site as far as the planning office is concerned. And we've prepared draft conditions of approval with findings and conclusions for you to consider.
Well, Public Works says that people could get bottlenecked if it wasn't all one way. And would have to then turn around, and they're just recommending that the entire loop be one way, if I interpret the memo correctly.
That's what it seems to read like.
That's what it reads to me. I don't think that's a bad suggestion.
I think that's correct as well, but
Yeah.
for 17 years, we've been operating the way it is. And that one little strip that I think Lisa was talking about it's a parking lot that leads down to the fire lane behind the senior housing. So we wanna leave that portion of it two ways, so that cars don't have to all exit and go down around the fire lane to the senior housing. You wanna show them, Brian?
Yeah, and just show you Google. You know, there were two memos from the fire chief, the first memo and then the second memo. And in between, we had met with the chief. He actually, you know, brought his trucks out to the site and drove around the back of the building. So this is, you know, this is where Chef's Corners is going. It's the old artist medium space. And the deck's gonna be off this side looking over Allen Brook. And it's actually, you know, gonna be built over an existing 10-foot wide sidewalk. So the way the site was, and so that's our application. It's, you know, pretty straightforward for the addition of a deck. The use has been approved. We're not increasing the number of seats in the restaurant. And there's actually, in addition, there was a secondary stairwell that was required. And that was approved administratively by Ken, and that's in this corner of the building. And it shows on your plan, kind of as part of the deck. So that's actually under construction right now. And on the site plan, here's the stairway. So that's been approved as well. The deck's gonna actually become essentially part of the stairway. The stairway was required as part of a, you know, fire safety code for a restaurant. You know, over so many seats, you need a secondary means of egress, and that's why we're building the stairwell. So essentially, this corner of the site is going to be bumped out, and the edge of the curb shifted 3 or 4 feet. So the fire chief had a few concerns, but after driving the site and talking with me and talking with Al, his concerns were really, you know, not so much with the radius or the width of the drive aisles. It was that there's 2 areas of one-way traffic out here. You're supposed to drive one way around the front of buildings 1 and 200, and you can tell because the parking spaces are angled. And then the parking, you're supposed to drive one way counterclockwise around the back of these 2 buildings, and you know those have also angled spaces. Everywhere else is just 2-way. It's the lanes are 24 feet wide, and they've got 90-degree parking, including this area Lisa mentioned today. So Chief Morton was, you know, he's been out there quite a bit. You know, he's eaten at some other restaurants, and you know, he spends a lot of time out here. He's seen people going both ways. You know, there's really not, you know, there aren't any signs that say this area and this area are one way. So when we kind of presented this new plan, you know, he was on board and had no concerns. In addition,
Brian, explain where, if they make that section one way,
yeah.
it will force all the traffic behind the senior housing.
Well, exactly, and so, well, no, it would, so they want to, this is the one-way kind of direction of travel. So, I think Lisa wants to make the one-way continue out this direction. Well, that would mean that in order to get to these spaces, you're driving all the way around. You know, the chief didn't have that concern. This is 24 feet, you know, 90-degree parking just like everywhere else. Another concern I can see with this comment we just got today was that if you make this one-way going this direction, there's really no way to access the parking spaces on this side, and there's like 10 of them. And then there's also one of the chief's concerns, which is why he took his truck out there, is he wanted to make sure that this was, you know, safe not only for these two buildings, but also for this senior housing building. And he has a fire lane back here, so he wants to be able to drive around this direction and then around the back of the building. And I know he's the chief, and it doesn't matter if it's one way, you know, if it's an emergency, he'll go the other, but he actually was fine with us just posting do not enter signs here and here, keeping this two-way. And, you know, like I said, this project was approved a long time ago, and we're not proposing any changes to the traffic patterns, but, so that comment kind of came, you know, just, again, I wasn't quite, I haven't had a chance to talk to Lisa about it. I think we can certainly work it out with her.
So you're not proposing any traffic changes,
No traffic changes.
just signage?
Yeah, just some additional
Okay.
signs, yep.
That's what the fire chief recommended.
Okay.
Questions from the board?
What about the parking for the site? Is there gonna be enough parking there for you?
We think so. We're hoping that these guys, you know, blow it out of the park so bad that there's not, but we still have quite a few parking spaces, and their times are gonna be, you know, heavy on the weekends, early morning stuff, and, yeah, we think we have enough parking.
So, since we signed the lease, we've really studied. We've gone many times, we've driven around the building, behind Rite Aid, the access, you know, how to get in. It's a lot easier, number one, to get into that facility. You know, you take a left, go to lights here, really easy. We've got customers who've gone to look, who love the access. Having said that, we think there's plenty of parking. Sundays, the place is empty. It's one of our busiest days of the week. Saturdays, it's relatively empty. There's movement, but it's not, so that's good for us. We'll bring a lot of traffic, a lot of good energy into the place. Monday to Friday, we notice Wednesday and Thursday a little bit busier, because I think the hairdressing school has some students who come, and they have each a car, so they take up a bit of space. However, if you look at the back of the Rite Aid, it's always empty usually. That parking strip where Rockies used to be. A lot of empty space there. So we, as business owners, are gonna tell our customers, they always ask, how's the parking? We're gonna tell them about the space, talk to them, you know, behind Rocky. Our staff will all park behind them. Mandatory. So we really have no concern about the parking at this point, yeah. It's all good.
What percentage of your business is done on a weekend?
I think, on the weekends, well, let's say on a weekday lunch, average, meals, so let's say between 11 and 3, maybe, 180 to 200 people. On the weekends, example, our busiest Sunday, Mother's Day, which we do about 430.
Yeah, more than
People,
close to 600.
So, but most of those also come in cars with families, so it's cars of 4 with kids, you know, Mother's Day, the busiest Sunday. So, you know, Saturdays, anywhere around 300, 325. So if you look at the weekends, maybe 700, 800, 600, it depends. Weather also depends a lot on weather.
So let me restate my question. So if you were to give me a percentage for a calendar year, what percentage of your revenue happens on a weekend?
I would say, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say close to 50% is weekend for sure.
40 to 50.
40 to 50.
40 to 50, okay. And that's when there's plenty of parking.
Breakfast Monday through Wednesday is usually pretty low key.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have anywhere from 20 up to maybe 40 covers Monday through Wednesday for breakfast, and then we change lunch over at 11 o'clock. Lunch is always very consistent, Monday through Friday. It's very consistent. We're always pretty full Monday through Friday, but then the weekends, it's definitely, you know, can get pretty busy, which is good because there's obviously the available parking space on Saturday, Sunday.
And now it's a little busier too because of the school break, so a lot of families are coming in, so summer's, you know, busier. The patio will definitely be, a lot of customers have asked us about if we're gonna have a patio because they love our existing patio. So it'll definitely be an attraction. It'll actually draw people who will say, hey, they've got a patio, let's go and have lunch at Chef's Corner. So it's definitely a very positive thing for us as business owners.
Now, is this gonna be a temporary location while the new building's gonna be constructed, or you're not moving?
No,
Permanent now? Okay.
Major permanent.
can't afford it.
The pain and suffering of construction.
Right. It's harder to renovate an existing space than to be able to do it. We're finding out.
We'd like to expand eventually, but, you know, I think for now we're pretty settled, for sure.
We love the space, we love the community there, we love the business that are around us. Oasis Day Spa and us has had a really good relationship. We do a lot of their lunches for their spa day treatments. They always pick them up now, they're right next door. So it's gonna be a very good spin-off.
How late are you open each day?
We're open till 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on Fridays at 5, in the week till 4. We might just switch that to 5. You know.
Weekends, we close at 4
Yeah.
p.m.
And then in October, we're hoping to open in the evenings 4 days a week, Wednesday to Saturday, which would be a really nice place to come for dinner. We'll have our own Chef's Corner type of, it will be a Chef's Corner menu, not a, you know, we have our own style. We're really excited about that.
So, that's in the fall? That's in the fall, you said?
October, yeah, we first
That would
have,
be, then, and then that would go going forward, so the following summer you'd be open
yeah.
in the evening, and you'd be sitting outside at that point? So are there any plans then to put in outdoor lighting at that point?
I guess so, I'm not sure.
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
patio, you mean on the patio?
There are no plans right now because I haven't seen any light fixtures.
Well,
out there.
I
Good point.
guess the
Probably will though.
Yeah, we'll definitely work.
yeah, that right now we're a breakfast and approved for breakfast and lunch. So the dinner would be us submitting a new application and you know we that's the hope and that's the goal. But so we
We
have
want to get our day operation
I
smooth.
thought I knew the answer to those questions, but I didn't.
yeah.
So, yeah, so anyway, that, any outdoor lighting would then have
We
to.
have to come back. You're right. Yeah, right now no.
Or not, so somebody would have to come back to you.
Limited number of fixtures they could add without having to come back to the DRB. They would still have to be fully shielded, downward facing, all those sorts of things. I would anticipate that if they're doing it right, the intensity of lighting that you would put on the side of the building to illuminate a patio would be way below the threshold at which that would start to, trip the triggers that we have for, illuminating the night sky.
But we're not approving any.
It certainly will, and not only that, it's only summertime that it's out there, and it's usually light until 9 o'clock anyway, so there probably won't be much need for light out there, maybe a LED rope light or something like that.
We most likely only see till 8 o'clock, so it won't be like till 9, 10 o'clock. It'll be from 5 to 9, 8 dinners, Wednesday to Saturday.
One thought about, you've got a concrete curb, so with the new parking, you've got a curb, and then you've got your supports. Any thought about, putting some kind of barrier there, just in case, an errant car lunges forward and knocks out one of the legs?
Yeah, well, we're gonna relocate the curb and we've actually, given it a few feet of, it'll be grass and then, down near, the exit of the stairwell, there'll be, like a small landscape bed, but,
I think he's more concerned with the car could jump a 9-inch curb.
Right.
But not
One of
a
the seniors.
2-foot barrier of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we could have put the curb right up to the deck, and that would have given us a little bit more space in the drive aisle, but, we kinda, gave it
You
a,
could certainly put a steel ball in front of the columns though,
Yeah.
just to give it
Just a wrap, yeah.
first impact and slow it down a little bit maybe before, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna be coming that fast, but if somebody inches over the curb and
Yeah.
panics, they could hit that post and knock it out.
Right.
Yeah, good idea.
Someone did drive into Building 200 the other
Did you
day.
guys hear about that? 53-year-old student driver jumped the curb with a Kia and went into the Greer's. Luckily hit the steel column in the building and it stopped it, but.
Yeah.
I don't,
Pushed the wall in about
Ken,
6
I don't remember approving a drive-through at Greer's.
Yeah, we don't allow this.
Yep, just made one.
I'm just curious, so you have, this is unrelated to this, but you've got another tenant in mind for across the street? Kind of an anchor tenant?
We don't have anybody right now, but, we've got the marketing people working.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some interest, but we haven't signed anybody yet.
Any questions from the audience back there, Esther?
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Anything else you guys want to say? Add to this discussion?
Okay, did a great job explaining everything.
Opening day is August.
7th,
Hopefully.
I think, we know the experience with Omega has been amazing, the contractors have been amazing, I think the space is looking unbelievable. It's beautiful space, a lot of time and it's been put into it, it's all good.
You get a discount on your rent for saying that.
We're getting a discount, Al told me
And
before the meeting.
It's also a free commercial on public access.
Yeah, viewership total 10.
Hey, 10 more than you had a minute ago, right?
Been more than a year.
That's right.
Hey, we may need some more parking now, right?
Okay, everybody, thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Have a good evening. We're gonna close DP 17-26 Allenbrook Development at 7:55. This will be short. It'll take you longer to set up and break down than it will, than the actual hearing.